And once again, welcome back to a little bit of doing after commentary over some Vampyr, because my audio recording got royally screwed when I was actually doing this from a recording I did a couple of weeks ago as of me uploading this, most likely, because this whole session all told was about 3 hours long, so I wasn't able to do the audio voiceover after commentary thing for it all at once, unfortunately. And as of what you're seeing right now, I'm fighting a boss fight that's basically 2-on-1. So we have two bosses that we're going up against, and they have a tendency to summon their little minions whenever their minions get wiped out. So we have the one small guy who has his fire shot and grenades that really hurt because they're fire-based or something. And then we have the tank, who's basically like those guys with the shields that we see hanging around all the damn time. So right now, I'm basically trying to skirt the edge and get around the bastards. That way I can manage to kill the bosses without getting cornered, is my logic here. And my health is getting really low, so I'm having to expend a lot of my blood supply in healing myself, and I don't think I'd realized that they would summon more enemies at that stage, which is why I was focusing on the enemies, because I genuinely thought if I killed them off, then that would be it. And at this point, I am literally out of blood and dead, because the burning effect from their weapons caught up to me, and I died as a result of it. As you can see here from the "You Can Be Defeated" screen, which, as an aside, I just want to mention, these little quotes that you get on the loading screens are kinda neat. Death is not a wicked thing, etc, etc. It's just kinda neat that they have little quotes like that from the in-universe vampire characters on the loading screens. And honestly, the fact that they have neat little things like that is half the reason why I have yet to do anything to the effect of, well,
whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Stuff like that's the reason why I haven't decided to cut out the loading screens in my editing or anything. That, and I generally leave loading screens in my Let's Plays, with the exception of games like Skyrim, where I'm trying to make those Let's Plays a little bit more cinematic. In that sort of circumstance, I'll get rid of the loading screens, but stuff like this one, not so much. And I'm doing a little bit of leveling up right now to give me the ability to carry more serums and stuff, because I was considering having some extra blood serum and so on might be nice. Okay, so what else am I gonna go with? I seem to recall I got like 1 or 2 other abilities, though I could be misremembering that. Or maybe I just upgraded one. It's been so long since I did this recording, I don't really remember. Got like 300 more experience. Oh, that's right. No, I did not actually get something extra, unless it was a minor thing over here. In science or something. Or blood capacity, seeing as we only have 375 experience or thereabouts. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be able to afford it, seeing as most of these active skills that I actually wanted cost anywhere from 600 to 2,000 experience for me to be able to afford. And unfortunately, I do not have that kind of experience right now. So it's just straight up not an option for me. Some of these ultimates would be real nice, though. I think I get them at a later level up in this recording, though. But we're done here. Time to confirm and actually rest. And we get the outcome of my decision with regards to that illegal clinic, where basically there were some random police raids around the area, but they didn't actually find anything. And some people are saying, if they have such great medical care there, then sign me up for some crappy flea-infested apartment in that area right fucking now. And yes, indeed, I agree with that. Very much so. Not much more to say beyond that, but it is kind of nice that we're all getting these kinds of things. As far as the background flavor stuff with the background flavor stuff for our decisions and things go, I do kind of like that we find out what the effects are and aren't just told something happened, maybe we'll tell you at some point. I really hate it when games do that with their consequences, where they tell you there are consequences and then they don't show you the outcome. I really fucking hate it when that happens. Thankfully, this game did not go that route, and I am ever so pleased that that was the case. Now, am I gonna get off this screen? Because I don't really have anything else to say about it. Yes, I am, it seems. Mr. Palmer has a migraine still, but we don't have the capacity to cure that disease. However, everyone else that we know about is nice and cured, and there are 3 more people in town that I have yet to meet. Stable at 85%. Nice. But it was stable before, so that's not really made much of a difference. What am I looking into right now? I don't remember. I do sort of know what I ended up doing before that fight. Regeneration serum, that's basically a healing potion, if you couldn't tell. The other one that I have unlocked over in serums is a blood serum to refill my blood meter, but I think I need some more equipment to be able to put that one together, so it's not likely to get used anytime soon. Eating rats, on the other hand, to refill my blood, that I can do. And it's probably more helpful. Hey, don't worry about it, Johnny boy. They're only rats. Not like anyone's gonna care. And if the epidemics is bad around here, as people seem to be suggesting, I doubt you're the only one eating rats. I can't believe I actually made that suggestion. Wow. Let's see. We need a bit of that one ingredient over there to be able to make some blood serum. And we kind of do need blood serum right now. before I get involved in this whole fight. I hope I did actually go back for the blood serum. I think I did, but I don't want to trust my memory on this. Seeing as, like I said, it's been about a week since I recorded this. Possibly longer. So I could just be straight up misremembering things. That's entirely possible. Yeah, that's right. I'm over here looking for merchants to buy the supplies I need for my blood serum. That's what I'm doing, I seem to recall. But don't quote me on that. Like I said, it's been long enough I could have gotten my memory of what was happening completely wrong. And we are most definitely not in the right area for the bloody merchants. I need Mrs. Fake Cure Lady and that guy over on the other side of town who's always arguing with the protection racket mob person. So we'll have to locate them. Let's see. Where are they at? Where are they at? Do not remember. Unfortunately. Would make things a lot easier if I did remember this shit. Or, hell, it would make it a lot easier if I just had managed to not lose the audio for this recording, because that would speed things up.
Good evening.
But here she is.
I'd like to see what...
Do you have what we want? Let's see. That's right, opium was the thing we needed here. Now it's time to go back to our hideout and brew some more blood elixirs. Or blood serums, whichever you want to call them. We need to get those things nice and brewed up. And here we are. That was fast. So, time for a bit of brewing, I think. Lovely indeed. Let's brew her up and get on with this. Hopefully it happens the way I remember, otherwise that would be really fucking embarrassing. I have enough for 2 of those, but we can fit 4. I think I remember what happens next, but I'm not going to say it right now, just so it's there for my clever and somewhat insightful commentary when it happens, and you can see how much of an idiot I was by doing this and not realizing it at the time. Because, yeah, that's a thing. And wrong door, great. Aggravated damage. In other words, fire and anything else that burns. Because vampires don't like burning. Of course. Now, I think I'm off to try and find some more of those ingredients to make a few more blood serums. so that I can refill my blood when I inevitably run through it in the
long as
boss
you have the
fight
money.
with those couple of vampire hunter assholes.
Good evening.
I'd like to see...
But unfortunately, the stupid thing that I did here is I was not keeping an eye on my money, so I'm not able to afford enough supplies to make even one, and now I'm down to a whole 8 shillings because I am an imbecile. And I discovered this in a bit, but I am not going to be able to make any more blood serum, and I'll have to get myself some more cash before I can buy anything else from any shops. Which is not all that great, but we'll just have to deal with it, I suppose. And yes, game, I know that I can level up and evolve and all that jazz. You don't need to remind me on the loading screens. I want insightful quotes, not gameplay things. Thank you very much. And we are soon approaching the point where I will discover the fact that I am not able to make any more blood serums. And I lament how much of an idiot I am. Yep, right here. I am short by 1 of a certain ingredient that I cannot afford because I suck. And my short-term memory is absolute crap in a lot of regards. I really should bring a pen and paper to write this shit down, but I never think of that ahead of time. Whatever. 2 will have to suffice, and we have the couple that are basically healing potions as well, so I'll be starting the boss fight again in not too long, fortunately. Get that out of the way, and should be fine. Yep, and there is the all too obvious and deliberate trap done by the fucking vampire hunters, so yay. Yay for excessively deliberate traps that I completely fell into because I'm an idiot the last time around.
I have this.
And yay for eating rats to fill our blood supply, because apparently that's a thing we do now. I guess it is, but I'm not too bothered, honestly. Better rats than people, honestly. And it kind of satiates us for the time being. Though that's not saying much. But now let's head towards the boss fight area. And get blindsided by the prostitute all of a sudden. Heading over to where this boss fight is due to take place, and hopefully we can manage to pull it off without too much trouble on our second try. Kind of a vain hope, I know, but who knows? It might have gone that way. I don't actually remember. Through the gate.
Human blood.
And
Whoever left these marks
yep,
did
deliberate
so
human
deliberately.
blood and all that. So this smells of a trap. Next move, spring the trap, I think. Hello, my dear vampire hunters. I almost missed you. So we obviously go for the weaker one first. And we'll primarily be attacking him. But I'll throw a blow or two at these other bastards when I get the chance. And we'll most certainly not be going up the damn stairs this time. And this fight is also a very important one in character development because for the first time I've actually made use of my blood spear ability. And use that to damage an enemy. It's not doing a whole lot of damage because this guy is a literal bloody tank, but I did actually use the ability, which is kind of nice from my perspective. But this fight is going to take a while, as is this part, just because of how tough these guys end up being. And as it turns out, I go through quite a lot of my serums during this battle, for various reasons. But that guy's on about half health now, so good for us. Would you mind not getting shot all the damn time, Johnny boy? It's kind of annoying. But yeah, that dude is really taking a lot of hits, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Alright. Retreat and let my stamina regen was the order of the day back there, I think. And fucking grenades. They're anti-vampire grenades, which is what I refer to that cloud as. A bit of a pain. And now that we've killed all of the minions they summoned, there's going to be a few more turning up, since they like to have the extra help. They must be compensating for something. It's the only thing that makes sense. Why else would they insist on constantly summoning minions? And there I pop a blood serum. I don't know why, but I'm inclined to refer to them as blood potions for some reason. And down goes the softer and squishier guy. It's now just us and Mr. Tank, plus the grunts, of course. And speaking of which, it's very annoying, but said grunts are always carrying around torches at the moment. Makes my life very difficult because those torches do aggravated damage. And that makes it very hard to fight them, because they can stop me from healing by the use of fire. And that pisses me off. I don't like being stopped from healing with fire, and these guys are bastards also. Also that, yeah. Okay, heal ourselves a little more, and we are down on our blood and health quite a bit again. This is the point at which I decide to use my second one of those blood vials. I don't recall. I think it might be. We're low enough on health. Yeah, it is. Justify it pretty well with how low on health we are. And Mr. Tanky McTank is just shy of half his health left. Sorry, did I say just shy? I meant only slightly more than half. And now he's basically hit the half health mark, so we're doing pretty well so far. Despite the cronies with swords and torches that continue harassing us, they don't actually matter. It's the boss that we actually give a damn about. Seeing as we have to kill the boss with these guys waving their toothpicks at us. Because if we kill all the cronies, then the boss will just summon more. Bit of a pain, but we do what we can to deal with it. And his health is going down quite a bit. Okay, now boss's health is going down quite a bit, and I'd say he's at about a third of his health right now, if I had to judge. Have to heal ourselves and then immediately get shot. And there we have a case of me using the blood spear incorrectly. I meant to hit Mr. Tanky with it again, but it accidentally hit one of the minions. Very annoying.
Cross the leech, boy!
But not a whole lot I can do. However, our tanky friend is almost dead. I'd say my progress is quite impressive so far. However, I'm almost dead again. So, healing vial. Pop one of them. And now, this guy is definitely about to die. Down he goes. With both of them, we got their crap. That fight is now officially over. And I have to admit, it was a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with. But on the plus side, it only took me 2 tries, unlike the very first boss fight against that guy in the hospital morgue, which took me like 4 or 5. But now that we're done in Whitechapel, we can head back to the hospital and clear things up here with Lady Ashbrook. Unfortunately, we have to let her know that technically we did not exactly stop the blackmail, but that it was being used for charity. That is to say, we didn't get the money back. Is something we have to inform her of. And I'm not sure how she's gonna feel about that, though I get a feeling she won't be overly impressed. Oh my god. So it looks like the rumors actually had some basis in fact. And she was actually feeding on patients.
Sir, or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reid. I like a man who speaks his mind.
What? I don't even know what to say here. I really didn't think that she was actually feeding on patients. I thought it was just bullshit and rumors. You know, you always have rumors about controversial things around rich people or nobles. I thought it was just a case of that. But she was actually eating them.
Spare me your
Amazing.
sarcasm,
I didn't
Jonathan.
actually
You are
think
but newly
that.
born in this world.
I didn't think it was going to actually be the case. But yeah, I guess the accusation was true after all.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you, it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this
I
problem
think
to
we
a
can agree to
satisfactory
that.
conclusion.
I believe I
It
could
seems
agree
like a
to that.
reasonable proposal.
And since a lady always keeps her promises,
We
I
are
will
technically
now
the
answer any
business
questions you
partner
may have.
now for Nurse Crane, so we should be paying, not asking someone else to. But now it's question and answer time with our resident vampire expert. So, what did we actually end up asking her? I think most stuff, actually, which is why this conversation dragged on for a bit, and why this episode is a good bit longer than my usual fare. But what did we go for first? Was it about ourselves, about her, or about London? London, eh? Yes, I met some vampire hunters.
Changed. I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, eh?
Once
Interesting way to
glorious,
describe
but
them,
still
I have to
dangerous.
say.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
Are
make
they a
them sound
cult?
like some
They
sort of
sound
cult.
rather cult-like.
More a society.
And I
Like all the
generally am
best
not
ones,
too fond of
secret
cults.
society.
Then again, I've
I
made
thought
my
they were most
opinion about
gone.
this guard
Seems
and
they
their
have been
methods
recruiting.
all too clear by this point, I think. I'm not going to badger on it further.
I've
But
been away
what
from
happened to
and
London?
England
It's
for
certainly
3
not the
years.
place that we left.
the city
That's
I
for
remember.
sure.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
Did the flu cause this? That seems a little far-fetched if I'm honest, but was it
The
the
Spanish
Spanish
flu has
flu
hit
that
London
caused
that
this whole
bad.
mess?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things.
So it both
Things
was
I've
and
not
wasn't.
heard for a
Interesting.
very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
And what is it that you
Fear has
fear?
long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
I can't say I exactly understand that statement, but okay. Are there a lot of vampires in London, then? I've met a handful so far, but are we common around the city?
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Ah. And am I
Will they
to
all be
expect
as
them all to
affable
be
as
this
you are?
friendly, or will they try
do
and
not see why
disembowel me
not.
with a rusty spoon,
But
or
remember,
the vampire equivalent?
Even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
Vampire politics, you say? I'm once again getting the whole Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines and vibe in this case with the actual vampire politics thing, because before I wasn't getting the impression there was anything resembling politics, but I'm glad that was wrong. It's very interesting that they decided to make it that deep and complex, and
Do you
I'm
know any
glad
of
it is that way.
Have you
Makes
an
it much
idea
more
of the
interesting
identity
if
of
you
the
ask me.
vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Interesting. So he deliberately just left us a vampire and didn't say anything. Odd. though I'm fairly certain that incident we had way back with the dude talking inside our head was responsible for making us a vampire. But I could be wrong. But why did you choose to save me exactly?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter skull.
Speaking of which, what exactly is a skull? I've heard the term before, but I'm not too clear on the meaning.
What type of vampire is a
Mind
skull?
clearing it up for me?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
Oh. I get it. Sort of like vampire werewolves in a way. Though that's probably a pretty bad explanation. Just vampires that can't control themselves, basically.
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
Ah. Well, let's see. Dr. Swansea allows you to kill people here in the hospital, does he?
On the patients of the hospital.
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
I see. So, it's kind of like her equivalent of what we would consider like mercy killing someone on the battlefield if they're not gonna make it and just going to suffer for a while and die anyways. It's kind of like that. So, I think that Dr. Reid would understand in that context. He probably wouldn't like it and would prefer if she didn't take that approach, but he would understand that it's probably the best option available at the moment. Anyways, enough about that, I guess. This Brotherhood of his, do you know anything about it?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
I see, so kind of like a non-aggression pact, I suppose. We just agree to stay out of each other's way, pretty much. Suppose that makes sense. And did no one suspect you of eating the patients?
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
And I'm willing to take you at your word for that, quite honestly. But we are most certainly not going to ask how old she is, because I think Dr. Reid would know full well that you do not ask a woman her age. That tends to get you into some very awkward situations, so we'll just steer clear of that particular question, shall we?
I don't understand.
Now,
Why
were we left for dead? Exactly. It doesn't make any sense for someone to just create a vampire and just leave us there.
I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
could he have created us, made us a vampire, I mean, by accident? Is that sort of thing even possible?
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I see. So how are vampires created then? I'd like to know so we don't do it by accident.
Tell me,
Exactly.
how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
Ah, they have to drink of our blood to become a vampire. Interesting. But about this voice in our head, what do you know about that sort of thing? Someone's been talking in my brain and all that, and it's a little bit disconcerting. Can you tell me anything about it?
Insanity. It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
I don't understand. How could it offend people just by talking about someone who can project their voice into my mind and that sort of thing?
Call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Elder, you say? Interesting. Well, we're not going to ask if she is our maker. I think that we have figured out quite plainly by this point that she is not. Nor are we going to ask if we are a vampire, because we figured out by now quite easily that indeed we are. Because those are kind of stupid questions, and at this point the only things left are dumb questions and questions that don't even need to be asked for obvious reasons. So we're done here. Time for a little bit of blood analysis, methinks. But I think we're done for this episode.